You guys, I think it is 100% safe to say at this point that no matter what side of this series that you're on, or even if you're neutral in the entire situation, that the 2022 NBA Finals have lived up to all of the hype and expectations that we had going into it. And of course, with this and everything we've already seen, there is one thing in particular that I feel like we absolutely needed to discuss today, and as you probably guessed from the title of the video, it involves the unsung hero of the series in Andrew Wiggins, who is catching the entire world by surprise. But what I want to talk about with Andrew Wiggins is a portion of his game that I feel is not getting enough credit as it should be from most of the media. And what this is, well, let's just get into it. One sec though guys, if you haven't yet, don't forget to like the video if you do enjoy, subscribe, and turn on those notifications to never miss another NBA video. Love you guys. And for those of you that do, believe me, I appreciate you more than anything, because according to my numbers, over 95% of you guys coming back to actually watch the content haven't even subscribed yet. So again, a huge thank you. But anyway, let's get back into the man of the hour, which is Andrew Wiggins. Because for the man who's relatively putting up 18, 9, and 2 on 46% shooting from the field in his first ever NBA Finals appearance, it's safe to say again that yes, while he was putting up these numbers throughout the regular season, that how he has stepped up on the big stage and been the Warriors' second most consistent player in this entire series is to the surprise of many across the NBA world. And if it wasn't already enough what Wiggins was doing through the first 4 games, his Game 5 performance left everyone in awe, and while I have seen memes about it throughout social media, it honestly was a legacy game for Andrew Wiggins. Because no matter what you say about Andrew Wiggins or how you think about him as an NBA player, the picture that gets painted about his career, along with his reputation in the league, will never be the same again, and obviously it's for all the good reasons. And of course, with a lot of the recognition and credit Wiggins has been given, a lot of it is tied into his offensive productivity, as it rightfully should be. Because, I mean, if you were to tell a casual NBA fan before the series that Andrew Wiggins would be the second most productive player on the Warriors and they would have a 3-2 series lead going into Game 6, I think that a majority of them would look at you like you're stupid. But nonetheless, anyone who might have thought that way is being proved more and more wrong as each game in this series goes on. But even with his spectacular offense, this might not even be the biggest key to success that Andrew Wiggins has offered so far in this series. Because in case you haven't been paying attention, the defensive masterclass that Andrew Wiggins has consistently put on in this series, and even specifically when guarding Jayson Tatum, might I add, has been ridiculous. Because as I'm sure most of you know by now, it's no secret that Jayson Tatum's performance in this finals has been subpar to what most people expected. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's an awful series for him by any means, as he's still averaging 23 points per game, shooting 47.5% from 3, while also very clearly playing into the role that is needed of him in some crucial parts of this series. But, say if we had to give credit to one person for making this series as difficult as it's been on Jayson Tatum, almost all of this credit would undoubtedly have to go to Andrew Wiggins. Because out of anyone who's guarded Jayson Tatum throughout the course of these finals, the primary defender has been Andrew Wiggins. And when I say primary, it might even be an understatement when you compare how much he has done so to the rest of his teammates. But regardless, as we've already seen Jayson Tatum's numbers for the series, when Andrew Wiggins is the primary defender on Jayson Tatum in these finals, Jayson Tatum overall from the field has shot 18 for 48, equating to 37.5%. And I know that some people are just going to say that Andrew Wiggins has been a stellar defender throughout this series, but some others are also simply going to pin this on the idea that Jayson Tatum has just had a horrible series in general, and you cannot give all the credit to Wiggs. And while I can see reasonings for both of these answers, why don't we just take a little bit of a deeper dive into some more numbers? Because not only when Andrew Wiggins is guarding Jayson Tatum, but when Wiggins is the primary defender on any one of the Boston Celtics, he is putting up insanely impressive numbers of 0.9 points per play, 36.9% shooting overall from the field, and a 71% contest rate. And honestly, throughout the course of Wiggins' career up until this point, I wouldn't necessarily say he is overrated or underrated even within some of the specific areas of his game. He's been underappreciated, we can definitely say that, but in terms of what Wiggins has been able to bring bring to the table on the defensive side of the ball, and the overall impact he has had on both sides of the court this series, I think everyone's learned at least a little bit to not take and run with everything the media throws at us. I mean, I know for a fact that I cannot be the only one that remembers some of the narratives revolving around Andrew Wiggins before he actually got traded to Golden State, because whether it was saying he was an inefficient scorer putting up empty numbers, or he quote-unquote didn't try on defense, or even just saying that he was a flat-out bust, the NBA world didn't give up on Andrew Wiggins, but hope had been slowly dwindling away, we can confidently say that. And even right when he showed up to Golden State, I know that even Warriors fans were not expecting him to be a part of the journey at this point. I know you guys remember this too, but at the beginning he was just viewed as a valuable trade piece that could be packaged with first-round picks to get an even bigger star. But I mean, look at the guy now. He hasn't just developed into one of the best 3-and-D players in this series, but he has managed to completely rewrite his own narrative over the course of just one series, and that he can be one of the most vital pieces on a championship team if and when utilized correctly. But with this, am I trying to say that Andrew Wiggins has officially been labeled as the second star of this Golden State team? Absolutely not, and while that might sound like I'm dissing Andrew Wiggins, it just speaks more into the fact of what we've seen from Golden State this entire season. In fact, the point this is tying into might sound a little familiar, as we just made a video on this a little over a week or two ago as well, but this is what I've meant about being utilized to the best degree possible, because it just gets more and more clear as the series goes on that outside of the top dog on this team in Steph Curry, there's just no given labels to say the second, the third, or even the fourth best player on this team or on any given night. And Andrew Wiggins, he knows this, he plays into this, and he's stepped up in this role almost as good as anyone could ask for. So I know that this video was more of a rant style for you guys, but honestly, as a neutral fan, I'm just so happy for what I'm seeing out of Andrew Wiggins, and I wanted an excuse to talk about the finals with y'all, so I have two questions for you guys to answer in the comments. One, what has personally been the most surprising part to you about these finals? And number two, as I think I've asked in every single finals recap thus far, who do you have winning at this point and in how many games? But also guys, again, if you haven't yet, don't forget to go down below and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and of course, subscribe while you're down there. Yes, I know that we're 2 games max away from the end of the season, but with the offseason, the NBA draft, and free agency right around the corner, we have so much to talk about over the next couple of weeks, so just believe me when I say this, you do not want to miss out. But again, I just wanted to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for watching. I appreciate you all more than anything, you all know this, and I will see you guys in the next video.